a.m. to 11 a.m. as we invoke the thought-provoking discussion, tackle the tough questions, challenge assumption, and give a voice to the unheard. This is the Morning Express on Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome on board the Morning Express.
Good morning.
Welcome aboard the Morning Express. If you are just tuning in, this is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. About 10 minutes ago, we rounded off conversations regarding the headlines on our dailies, Punch, Guardian and Vanguard newspaper. We try to take as many stories as possible, and now because we don't just want this to be some sort of monologue where we're talking to ourselves or just talking to you, there is an opportunity for feedback. After we discuss these stories, we want to know your perception regarding all of the many events that have been reported on the front pages of our dailies, hence this segment of the Morning Express Mainland Focus. You can already tell the focus would be on certain stories that we think should be open for conversation, because these stories in a way affect you, it affects me, it affects us as a nation. So how best to really analyze the situation, if not to hear from those who are directly affected by these headlines? You can reach us either by calling, either by sending a WhatsApp message, sending a text message, or interacting with us via our social media platform. If you're one who would rather call, you can do so with the number 091360000410. That is the studio line. The number again, 091360000410. If what you want to do is send a WhatsApp message or a text message, the number to send your message to is 091360000430. The number for text messages and WhatsApp messages again, 091360000430. We're also live on social media, Facebook and YouTube if we're being precise. We're streaming the program live, which means that you can join the live session and actually drop your contributions using the chat box option attached to that live stream. So do well to join our live stream and I'll read your submissions in real time. Two stories up for discuss this morning. We're of course talking about the update and the responses that have trailed the allegations of a threat to life by Peter Obi following his New Year's address. Felix Morka was on a television interview and he made certain comments that have now been interpreted as a threat to the safety of Peter Obi, although a statement has been put out reaffirming that statement was not at all meant as a threat, but instead a response to the position of Peter Obi on the state of the nation and the efforts of this administration. I'll play for you what Mr. Felix Morka said and also give you an insight into some of the responses that has trailed said comment, and then we would ask questions about your perspective when it comes to the response of the ruling party, for example, to the allegation of a threat to life. So hold on, listen to these particular soundbite and then we can have a conversation.
He's not being rational. He's absolutely irrational in his thinking and in his public commentary for a man who was governor for 8 years, who left nothing to remember in Anambra State by way of a legacy or transformation. But all of a sudden, he served as governor 8 years. He didn't have the wisdom or the smarts to change Anambra State, to make Anambra the beacon, that example of governance in the country. But then he runs for president in 2023, and then now he didn't win. He's sulking. Rather than actually get a perspective and figure out what he did to lose, so he can do better in the future. He would think that he can bring down the government by simply being maliciously deceptive. That is wrong. I'm not somebody to go on that offensive in that manner. But Mr. B has crossed the line so many times, and I think that at this point, he has coming to him whatever he gets. He needs to manage it.
He has coming to him whatever he gets, he has to manage it. That part of Mr. Felix Morka's comment has been interpreted as a threat to the safety of Mitaobi. Although, like I said before, Mr. Felix Morka has put out another statement defending himself and also talking about the somewhat crude behavior of obedience, according to Mr. Felix Morka, and how anyone who goes against the opinions of Peter Obi is attacked by an online mob who also threaten the safety of individuals who do not agree with Mr. Peter Obi, and has in fact asked Mr. Peter Obi to talk to his fans and his followers and the obedience to stop being so aggressive towards people who also do not agree with Peter Obi's comments. And of course, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP has also put out a comment and said that reactions like this one, when people do not agree with the ruling party, sort of has some sort of authoritarian connotation, which poses some sort of threat to those who are in the opposition, meaning that everyone or is creating an atmosphere of fear for people who do not agree with this particular government, and they have no desire, or they do have desires to speak up, but they are afraid for what the backlash would be when they speak against the policies and the decisions of this administration. So this story, we're using it to open up a conversation around the voice of opposition in Nigeria. Opposition is supposed to keep the ruling party or the ruling administration on their feet, to question their decision, to question the rationale behind the decisions that they're making for the nation in terms of policies, in terms of financial appropriation, amongst other things. So what say you about opposition in the country? Do you believe that we are currently in an atmosphere that encourages dissenting voices? Are we in an environment that encourages people to speak about the aspects of governance that they are uncomfortable with all of these issues? Now, the second issue we are talking about is the 2025 budget, about 49.7 trillion naira, and all the many appropriations in there that has raised eyebrows. And our latest, conversation is around the power sector. The Guardian, I beg your pardon, they tell us this morning that despite privatization, the federal government intends to spend some 751.7 billion on wires, on transformers, on street lights, on others, and also as much as 8 billion naira to create awareness on vandalism. This is just a few of the appropriations that will go to the power sector. Now, the issue here is that the power sector is largely privatized. At least the Gencos are privatized, the Discos are privatized. The only part of that electricity value chain that is handled by the government is the TCN, and it's surprising that that huge amount of money would be invested in just the TCN. So if you are appropriating money for the Discos, for example, or the Gencos, for example, what exactly was the whole point of privatization? Privatization means you remove your hand from the financial running of that value chain, allow the private individuals to run it based on whatever agreements that you have. So if you have privatized, why are you still putting in your resources? Why are you still burdened with the responsibility of running and funding that part of the value chain? And the Guardian even went further to say that 8 billion that is earmarked for awareness on vandalism is capable of rehabilitating schools, of building infrastructure, but then the decision to use that to make people aware of why vandalism is a terrible thing is rather something that is worthy of questioning. Those are the two stories that we have for you this morning. As our usual practice, Fuad Said will join us very briefly just to sort of highlight and establish the points that he had made earlier regarding the stories that we have chosen as the focus of the day. Don't forget, we're talking about the alleged threat to life of Peter Obi following his New Year's message, Mr. Morka's initial comment, his response following the alleged threat, among other things, and also the appropriations in the 2025 budget, the ones that have been put down for the power sector, and just generally some of the provisions of the budget. Does this in any way tell you that this administration is committed to abating the extreme hunger that the average Nigerian is facing right now, and also to put forward or to re-establish their promise of focusing on capital infrastructure rather than leakages? Let's hear from Fuad, and then I'll open the phone line. Fuad, hello again. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Sage.
Yes.
Again, we've listened to the sound bite even before now, and it's clear that it would have just been nice for Mr. Morka to retract his statement, which is clearly a threat. Because no matter how you try to paraphrase it, and I think that I would have thought again, maybe just a suggestion, an advice that up to the president presidency actually, that look, they get thoroughbred professionals, not necessarily journalists, who will do professional speaking, for the presidency and even the political party. And if they're going to stick with these guys who are speaking for them, they probably can take a course on public communication or what proper public relations is when it comes to speaking, political speaking, and political communication. There's nothing wrong in learning, actually, because some of the things they say, that there's a problem somewhere. These guys are just politicians, and the decorum that comes with public speaking and political communication, they don't even know it. So, you see that the politicians, the presidency, the parties get thoroughbred professionals who can do a solid job for them, address the issues, speak to the truths, counter, falsehood with facts. Rather than going on threads, on insulting people, there was a statement he even used on Peter Obi at the start of the soundbite that is so
irrational.
It's so irrational. What is irrational about Peter Obi? Anytime he talks, the man are very calm. Most of the things it is the way he has explained that is very irrational. So at the end of the day, I think that look, because whether you like it or not, we have a country to protect it, and it must not fail. That's why we are telling them that look, they did worse to the good Jonathan government than even what Peter Obi and the opposition is doing now. Yes, I agree that the obedience on social media is another group of people. And I think on this platform we also talked about how toxic they are sometimes, how toxic they can be. The mob is crazy. If they come after you, you know that you don't enter Wahala. And we question that too. But too long, is not what we should be discussing here. If you are accusing the obedience on social media as being very toxic and all of that, and then you are doing the same thing on social media, then what are we talking about here? Why not you stay on point, do the right thing, or probably set the example for those ones to now follow, and know that when it comes to political conversation, you don't have to go insulting and talking, even if you accuse them of behaving. So I expect that our people are going to at least off the game a bit. Let's have decent conversation. Let's enjoy what political banter is. Like I said, I lived with my grandfather who was able to share the stories of how political banter was so interesting in the first, second, and third republic. In fact, the second republic, particularly the first republic. Yes, there's a bit of issues there, but it was not as bad as what we are hearing now. But and then on the budget, again, I've told people try and get the budget, say what we need to say. These are regulations that should get us thinking about the commitment our leaders to nation building. If we are still continuing to appropriate at this time that you are saying there's no money, tighten your belt, and we have seen this kind of appropriation thing. Shouldn't we now question their commitment and sincerity about nation building? God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Fuad. We appreciate you for your insight as always. It's time for us to hear from you. You've heard the two stories. I've summarized at least 3 times just so I can create the proper context around these stories. Let's see what you have to say. If you have a different opinion to Fuad, or you have fresh perspective, or there are angles that you think we should explore this from. I deliberately played you that clip from Mr. Felix Moka so you could hear the exact words and the interpretation that has followed his exact words. And so now you have enough information to form your own opinion. When you call, I would like for you to tell me your name, also tell me where you're calling from, and maximize the time that will be allotted to you. It's just 2 minutes. 2 minutes is actually a very long time. You can spend a minute per story if you'd like to talk about both stories, and if you want to talk about one, you can as well just use your 2 minutes. When we start to prompt you to round off your thoughts, please do so we can take as many contributions as possible. That's not the time to start picking on a new story when we tell you to round off your thoughts. All right, so we can have a seamless conversation on radio. The phone line once again is 0913 6000 410. You can send a text message to 0913 6000 430. We're also live on Facebook and on YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, where we're currently streaming live. We'll take our first call for the morning. We'll take a couple calls and then start to read messages. Hello, morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Good morning, sir.
Okay, yeah. Madam Fish, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
My friend Fuad.
He's okay as well. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, God bless all of you.
Thank you.
I am Barrister Peter Oku. I'm calling from Maryland.
All right, welcome.
Yes, on the issues we are focusing on. First of all, on the Toby and Felix Moka. You see, it is very unfortunate, Madam Sage, that in this then age of ours, that there are stooges that can be available to be used as sweeping brooms, by politicians. Because each Felix Moka that is dangling with the Toby, I know him. He was my classmate, and I'm highly disappointed. In fact, I feel like jumping out of my school. That is being used as a sweeping broom. The same thing that happened to MFN. We're all classmates, and these people have been used. They use them and dump them. It is very sad. That is why I like my brothers, our brothers from the north. They will not make themselves available as sweeping brooms. Like those of us in the south. We will have to change. Be your own man. Abraham Lincoln said that it is more honorable to die for something that you believe in while fighting for something that you believe in.
Thank you for calling.
That to remain a slave.
Thank you.
To another fellow human being.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. All
right, welcome.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate, honestly. I would dare not the same issue Barrister talked about. Are you with me?
Yes.
If the ruling party is intolerant of dissenting views, then there is no democracy, honestly. It is dictatorship and autocracy. And that is what they wanted. Like Mohammed did something worse than this. Nobody shut him up. Nobody stopped him to talk. The Nathan did not do anything to please him. And like I've been saying, if you are holding a position of office and you are being criticized, it's an opportunity for you to be introspective. Look within as regard your performances, whether good or bad. Where you score high or where you perform creditably well, fine. If you are analysis, you adjust. That's what it's all about. It's not that if you oppose any opposing views, you don't want to entertain them. Then what is democracy then? I think the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like I said yesterday, sir, talk to your people. Don't let them just give you. I will say something on community or radio, but it is not heavy. The way they are behaving. When somebody talks, they are quick to antagonize and feel uncomplimentary insults. I think they are the people that are heard of you. It's not right. That is not democracy.
Thank you.
We have quite a lot to do, sir. As a Gaza. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. 091360000410. Hello.
Good morning, Sage.
Good morning.
I never see my name goes with you. I greet you and Alhaji.
All right. Thank you.
Sister, I happen to have opportunity of leading to the rally. 8th of October 2022. After the announcement of Tinubu winning on the 1st of March 2023 in 3 a.m., we wanted to start protest. People say any student don't do any protest. People have been taking us from that time until Thursday last week. People is supposed to be dressed in golden elements, taking to boot. More can do what we call technical and tactical propaganda. The same people that is supposed to block water on the 9th of January 2012 when I entered the Ngoro from Omita to Lagos. Now, technically, they are not turning Nigeria as a cannibalistic fascism, Nazism, authoritarian that can refer to anarchy. So these lookers should know that there is nothing agency to not say to that can do anything. There is nothing other people don't talk. What has it to do? But anytime I want to be talk, in our In conclusion, I don't want to talk too much. Sister, Mr. Sage, P2B is our man. He's a bona fide Nigeria. He has right to advise. He has right to advise, and he has right to criticize. They cannot stop us. But nothing should happen to P2B. This is the second time I'm telling you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Happy New Year and God bless all.
God bless you too. Happy New Year.
I'm Engineer Ledafo from Shomolue.
All right, welcome.
You see, the system of our country is what it has been existing for long. You are punishing a guy who steals 100 naira. And the second day, there is a man who embezzles a state money. Then you just ask him to pay 5,000 naira from 5 billion naira that is steal. So what a system are we teaching the other people? You see, our government, they are just trying to make themselves busy. They have seen Nigerians that we are not a serious nation. Good people under good government, bad people under bad government. God will only help this great country, Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your brevity. Hello. Hello.
Yes, good morning, my sister.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, I greet everybody. Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for calling.
Okay, this is okay.
Okay.
God bless us and help us. I okay from Abulado. Brother Fᴜᴜ, God bless you for your analysis. You are talking well. My people, I will not tell you lie. APC, we are out for war. I am not in any...
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Sarah. I'm calling from K2
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah. You see, the problem with GPC is that there is this saying in Yoruba that the same thing what they did to pull down the government of Jonathan. They don't want anybody to do it for themselves. I can remember that there was a time Mohammed told the world that what they call it subsidy is a scam. That there was something like subsidy, and this Tinubu came to power. He said that subsidy is gone. After he said that subsidy is gone, the same government they put the claim of 8 trillion forward. They wanted to collect it back as subsidy. You know, all this kind of let him gather propagandists, let him gather confucionists together as spokesperson. The two will be unfair when the time comes. They are just doing like they don't have anything to over. My prayer is that nothing evil should happen to OP because these people they are desperate. This is wickedness of the highest order. Nigeria is going nowhere under this kind of group of people. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's read Facebook messages. We have Kabiru Adigbinro on Facebook that says, "Good morning, Sage. I don't see anything wrong in what Peter Obi said about the current state of the nation. This current government should not see themselves as if they know it all. Did they criticize also while they were in the opposition? God bless my country, Nigeria." Thank you very much. Lukman Oladipupo, still on Facebook, says, "All hail Nigeria, my country, where opposition cannot talk anymore and it will be treated or be seen as a threat to the ruling party. Well, the APC-led government should enjoy their time." We have John Bernard Ohi who says, "Good morning, Sage and Fuad. The way the APC is handling opposition parties' response, I don't think they have any business in power if they cannot tolerate criticism. And I don't see any difference between Felix Morka and the obedience movement. As for the budget, I'll keep saying it. Nothing positive can come out from that budget. It is just the copy and paste of the previous budget." Benjamin Isse says, "Good morning, Sage and Fuad. One should tell Fᴏᴜᴜ to focus his energy on telling President Tinubu to do the needful that he was voted for, and he should leave Peter Obi and other critics of bad policies of the president that brought Nigeria to abject poverty alone. They have brought hunger and also in a way worsened insecurity. Benjamin from Shogunle. All right, thank you very much. Another message here from The World reads, the statement of threat to life on Mr. Peter Obi is subject to interpretation, and we can see that the ruling party do not see this as a threat, just as when it was said that some group of people should leave and go back to places also seen as a threat. So if they don't see the latter as a threat, how do you expect them to see the initial statement as a threat? Fuad is very lucky that he's not in politics. If not, they would have said his history online for saying the statement is not a threat. The budget, as seen, only goes to show that his government is not inclined to reduce the cost of governance, and this will in turn affect the poor masses, as taxes will be increased and more borrowing from our western lords would also increase. All right, Darlington Ogbo here says, good morning mainland FM, please, where is Omobola Sandra? She's well, she's healed, she's healthy. As for the electricity conversation, I thought that the sector is private. What concerns the government in putting the country's resources into it? Let them just give me 700 million. I will go around the country and do the work that they want to use 8 billion for. As for Mr. Peter Obi's issue, the man Peter Obi is the problem of the APC, because anytime he talks, they must come for him. These people are not ready for governance, because when you are not ready to listen to criticism, then you are not ready for leadership. Darlington from Okokomaiko. Sage, come and join me in my morning coffee. You people don't used to forget things. That's the thing. You people don't used to forget things. Anyways, I'll read more messages. Prince Leo Ozoma says, Sage and Fuad, good morning. It is very obvious that privatization was not done totally in the interest of the Nigerian people, and that is why successive and current government seemed arm-twisted and toothless. Therefore, government must wait until the contract elapses. The government's appropriation for the electricity sector should be investigated. I was thinking that APC's reply or rebuttal to Mr. Peter Obi's innocent suggestion for nation building should have been done with counter performances to the credit of the APC, instead of threats and insults. No matter what the APC does to muscle up Peter Obi, the Nigerian masses will resist it, because everyone is feeling the pain. Leo Zoma from Anambra State, listening to Radio Guardian. Oh, that is so wonderful. Thank you. You see, geography is not necessarily an impediment. You can listen to us from any part of the world, either via Radio Guardian or our streaming platforms on Facebook. And I hope you're having a great time in Anambra. When are you coming home? Is the holiday not over? Anyways, good morning mainland FM. This is from Law Uba, who says, good morning mainland FM. Fᴏᴜᴜ should have known that the principle of stimulus response should be applied when he made that statement against Peter Obi. That is the batter he claims to be receiving from the obedient movement. For democracy to thrive, dissenting voices should be allowed to exist in our democratic experiment. All right, thank you very much. I'm going back to the phones now. 09136000410 is mainland focus. We're talking about the conversation around Peter Obi, the statements of Fᴜᴜᴜ, and all of the contributions and all the controversy that has trailed that back and forth. We're also talking about appropriations within the 2025 budget, with emphasis on the power sector and the humongous amount of money that has been allocated for different projects that are raising question, because the power sector is largely supposed to be a private enterprise. We'll go back to the phone. For those of you that just joined us, please don't forget 2 minutes is what is allotted to each caller. Try to get straight to the point and address the issues that have been placed on the table. Hello. I can hear myself, sir. Good morning.
No. When to speak before you off the radio. So
okay, I understand. Go ahead.
I've done that.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Peter Monse is my name from Shomolu.
Welcome.
Please let me greet that engineer. I have forgotten his name that called from Shomolu. I want to thank him for joining me from the Shomolu axis.
Oh.
This is a great family. Now, Babalola,
yes.
Let me take Mocha on. Yes, let me take Mocha on this. He said Peter Obi lost election. In the class, we have 3 important positions: first, second, third. Now, if somebody takes third in any exam, you see, as he failed. So if Peter Obi could get about 6 million plus, Atiku about 7 million, then Tinubu 8 million, how does he describe Peter Obi as a failure? And again, Peter Obi won Lagos State, the most popular state in Nigeria, that belongs to Tinubu. He governed here. The Peter Obi beat him there. And Peter Obi won in the Federal Capital Territory. See this Moga, I don't know his political history. Otherwise, I would have known what to tell him. And he's telling me this morning that Peter Obi did not leave any legacy
in Anambra State. During campaign, Peter Obi told us that he never collected a land, he never collected a house from the government of Anambra, and his children were not using government vehicles. They were using his vehicle to go to school. Can he himself say that? Can Tinubu say that? Can others say that? See, this Moga, I don't know him. And let me say this, he is accusing Peter Obi of malicious deception. What is laughable? When somebody say Master Wale, and he never bring him down, is that deception or not? When somebody say, I will make electricity 24 hours, is that malicious or not? When somebody see, I think we should advise Tinubu that please look into security. Farmers must go back to land so that there will be food in Nigeria. I think that's what he should do. Let him be advising Tinubu and forget about all this ranting that is ranting. Because for me, he's not doing well. No. There is nothing we will say about the budget. They have cornered the money. They have taken the money. They have looted it. We will cry and cry. They have gone ahead. Have a nice day.
Please, the truth of the matter is,
you didn't introduce yourself.
Sorry. I was just eager to jump into the conversation.
Go ahead.
I'm a he's by name, calling from ᴏᴜᴜ.
All right, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I've been really enjoying this program.
Thank you.
The truth of the matter is, even when, but I love what I'm not a fan of him though. Sanusi, I love what he said. When he said, take this criticism and see how you can put those things into the working Nigeria. That is to say, if the opposition gives you an advice, a reasonable government should take those advices and see how you can do it. We are here in this country when someone came out on national television and said they are selling us for 40,000 naira to attack every single person that comes out with a solution and trying to, what you just need to do is take the plan and do it. May God bless Nigeria, my sister. That is what I have to say this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Let's take a listen to this. The comment he's referencing, Malam Nasir El-Rufai on the previous administration, what he said about the significance of opposition and how whatever party, whatever individual is at the helm of affairs can do with the comments that are being made by opposition. How can you take advantage positively of the comments and the criticism that is being brought before you by the opposition?
The job is to look at even good things that they are doing and say they are not doing it well. That is the job of opposition. So we have no apologies for pointing out to Nigerians that this government is incompetent and has failed to provide security. If you say we are politicizing it, fix the problem so that we can't politicize it. Okay? Are we politicizing breathing of air? Every Nigerian can breathe air. We can't politicize it because there is no problem. If you say that there is terrorism, we should not take advantage of their failings so that we secure the improved security. They have ignored it. They have set up 5 different committees that have
opposition loosely what Nasir answers still very much relevant to our realities. The phone soon enough, all right, but just give me a minute to take the contributions that we have. Members will be their advice to Tinubu is obvious that it's sycophancy and deceit, and it is not just tolerated but promoted in the present dispensation. Around the bush and talking of someone running down the government or the country. It's just a shame that people who had looked up to Nigeria as the giant of Africa will remain bewildered. Smoker only shows how reckless and gangsteristic that some of the power freaks and sycophants in the politics really are. People in power are expected to have more, always the privatized sector, and then in 2025. Are we children? There is the messenger. It's very unfortunate. Emmanuel and I was bullying everyone that opposed Peter Obi's ambition of threatening him and his family. Believe that and you handle on this. Okay, I have it now. I'm really sorry for the pause. First act by the APC and President Tinubu's administration. Sage, I was in Edo last man or councillor that refused to accept their demand. It shows how desperate the APC is, and this is one chance, substantial evidence to prove that. The on the subject for discussion is that the APC, no reason why APC should be jittery each time Mr. Obi airs his opinion on national issue. The Bible says stolen food is not sweet. All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you. I'm back to taking for. Yes. Sir.
Yes, ma'am. My take is
do you mind disconnecting?
Okay, no, I'll call back.
Okay, I think that's much better. Thank you. Hello. Yes.
Talking about the gas and the electricity and other infrastructure, you see, I've been saying it several times. The kind of budget this administration is proposing is not understandable to Nigeria. And when Ningi said that they were operating two budgetary proposals passed by the National Assembly, it will call for his head. Now they are three. When they pass the one they just proposed, they will become four, and they say it will start operation in June 20 this year. What kind of economy are we running in the first place? And the first people should not talk. When you just you mumble everything before the citizenry, thinking that you are the wisest among the lot. It is appalling. Electricity they cannot fix. Road network you cannot fix. You are bringing about the Mongol project that you cannot finish in 30 years. And then what kind of an economy in the first place? Then coming to the Peter Obi's issue, where the general commission is that everybody has the right to speak truth to power. What Obi said was not out of place. Felix Moka is a lawyer. He is working for his own job or for his own this thing. They should remember that we are not in the jungle. Conservatives,
thank you.
We always criticize the progressive.
Thank you.
And that is why we should have opposition.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, State Babalola.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, my name is Shola.
Welcome.
And I'm calling from Egbeda in Lagos here.
All right.
Okay. Now, let me start with the threat of Peter Obi, because that statement from Mr. Moka is actually a threat that whatever comes to him, he should be able to manage it. So is there any information that can be different from threat? And another thing I want to point out is what Peter Obi mentioned about his criticisms are constructive. You know, it's a shame that we have to keep going outside the country. Here, it's a shame we have become a laughing stock, and we have spread the mind of the people. And for somebody to not come out, you know, this is just a reflection of the kind of people we are in this country, and that is why we are the way we are. Why am I saying we? Because when you find a country where people that are not reasonable are more than the people that are reasonable, what I mean is that on moral grounds, where you find political jobbers, where you find psychopaths, are more than the people that embrace the truth. The Bible said righteousness exalted a nation and sin is a reproach. Look at these developed countries, Western world we are looking about, talking about, and we are looking up to. It is not that they don't have corrupt people there too, but the institutions, they base their way of life on the truth, justice. But in this country, even in our religious places, you see people, psychopaths everywhere. That is what we find today. Some of us that are criticizing. I'm saying this because I don't want to exempt myself, but what matters is once you get to that place of authority and power, that is when your real person will come out. And that is why I so much admire this kind of people like Peter Obi, people like Fᴜᴜᴜ, because they have the opportunity. So Nigerians, we need to look this until Nigerians come out to speak the truth and concerning the issue of CCN or whatever. Government, see, the issue is that the equipments are obsolete. Government will sit down with these people that are they so to sit down and agree on what to do.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you for your submission. Hello.
Hello, brother.
Good morning.
Good morning. I like you so much.
Welcome.
First of all, the issue of Obi. My advice will be this. Obi should see himself as a patriotic Nigeria. Politics is not, by arrogancy. Politics is about unity. And you look, let's say the fact, that is why Obi does not have a political base. He was formerly in PDP, none of the governor in the East were friendly to him. You see, look, Nigeria wants to move forward. If you are a patriotic Nigerian, whatever you can do your capacity to let Nigeria move forward. That is what we are saying, not to cite people. You understand? What Fᴜᴜᴜ said, it's not only Fᴜᴜᴜ that is saying it. What legacy did he did when he was in government of Anambra State? That's it. It's a clear issue. You see, you rule it in one state, there's no legacy you can put on ground. We are not talking of Nigeria. But the point we are saying is that let us see ourselves be patriotic. Yeah, that is what we need to move forward. That's what we are saying. On the issue of budget, look, the government to see himself, whatever I heard from Fᴜᴜᴜ, the budget of something trillion to organization. What? I mean, they should not see themselves very ridiculous in line with the budget. They should see something that will do something that is reasonable. They do address the need of Nigeria as far as budget is concerned. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Have a better one. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello? Yes?
Hey, please, are you listening to me?
Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah. They will be there.
Less or via the Facebook platform calling, but because certain individuals have found their way around being able to connect easily, we obstruct these other people that are very, very interested in participating. Let's hear new voices, and one of the ways we can do that is to ensure that one person doesn't call multiple times, unless when you called earlier there was an interruption and you were not able to use your time. If you called before, I've answered, you've used your 2 minutes. Any extra suggestion or comment or contribution should be either via WhatsApp or via our streaming platform on Facebook or on YouTube. Please, let's work together and encourage more people to participate on the program so we can hear fresh voices, fresh perspective, and get fresh ideas on the program. All right. Thank you very much for your understanding. I'm going back to taking phone calls now. Hello.
Hello. Good morning. This is Ralph from Satellite Town.
Welcome.
Yeah. Actually, Tinubu did not start from one party to. He has been in different parties to this APC now. That's number one. And then number two, what I see in all this is that this ruling party doesn't want anybody to speak out. That's just the fact. If we become some with anything, let them prove. But let them accept it. This is what this president has achieved this year. Thank you and God bless you.
All right. Thank you for your comment. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Please.
You tell us your name, sir, and where you're calling from.
Okay is my name.
Okay.
Anybody who loves this country will always like that things will be done or nothing. Or this other party should not exist. I am not in any party, but the party I belong to is Party One Nigeria Love, Unity and Peace. That is the party I belong to. I am from Cross River State, and I am not in anything that I say Biafra or Ariwa or this people, how do you call it, Oduduwa. I am not, because I know that the God who brought us together is not foolish. He brought us together so that we will build this nation, we will make everybody happy. And ourselves, so that because all these people are saying, some of them will think that it's because it's our person. No. All the politicians are almost the same life. In fact, President Jonathan, may God bless him. Because he were to be in this situation that maybe he would have resigned. In this condition, he would have resigned. So we should not attack it to be like this. Even APC members, some of them were talking that Nigeria are suffering. Then it is P2B become a big problem now.
Thank you.
So please, God bless Nigeria. We should help ourselves and do the right thing, whether from head to the toe. God bless you.
Thank you very much. That dose of optimism was most certain.
Good morning. This is Samuel calling from Keja.
All right. Welcome.
Please, let me say something. Someone said, now, we are talking about, the callers now, we are talking about that we should be monitored, that we should be patriotic.
Yeah.
And I don't know where is that coming from. So
So is it not out of patriotism that makes the Obi is speaking on the issue of the national, speaking on the national issue? So I don't understand this issue of saying we should be patriotic. Patriotic about what? And we are talking about legacy, that what legacy did Obi left in Anambra State. The person that is here now, we are here in Lagos State. Those people should tell us what legacy that has he left. The person that is the president of Nigeria today, which legacy has he left in Lagos State? Because we are here, we know what happened in Lagos State. You understand? This is somebody that all he knows is about taxing people, and somebody will come and tell us that what a legacy did Obi left in Anambra State. That's the issue that we are talking about. We are talking about the critical issue that people are facing, the economy renewing, and people are telling us that we should be patriotic. So I don't understand where that statement is coming from. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. More phone calls. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Victor from Ikeja.
Okay.
Yeah. I really appreciate your good work, especially Mr. Ford. The analysis, especially that of this morning, is wonderful. And continue doing the good work. But I am concerned about some few dollars, or some of us. Let me not be specific now. I ask or raise the issue of being patriotic. That a bit of this should be patriotic. What is, can anybody define patriotic?
Go ahead.
This is the meaning of patriotism that the person is demanding from me. Because what he is doing, to the best of my knowledge, is the patriotism to the highest order, even to the risk of his life. Now he is being threatened. Some of my annoyance is that some of us that say all the things are trying to redefine this double-faced character. We try to make it look like we are speaking for Nigeria. Meanwhile, we are really making us look like we don't know what we're doing, because this man has been speaking to power and telling them what to do, telling them what to do, but they would not address the issue raised. They would rather attack him, and this time around they are beginning to threaten him. This is not fair. You talk about what did he do in Anambra State. I come from Anambra State. Have you gone to Anambra State? Many of all these people say what has he done in Anambra? So the quality was what was the position of Anambra State economically before he came to power, and when he left Anambra State, where the state was in terms of the debt rate and other things economically and even politically. He left the state very stable, and the debt foundation he left is still running. So for anybody, let us stop what you said about attention. We know what the issues are.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello.
Sage, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
We thank God for another day. Pastor Ambrose.
Welcome.
When you see the way Canada is being run, you will never want to come back to this country, Nigeria. Sage, I've always said so, and you know, I don't have any other country. I don't want to go to anywhere. But the question I want to ask is, these people, is that how the countries that they went to school, where they go for health facilities, where they go for holidays, is this how they run it and they are able to run there? Last time when there was NSAS, Mr. President ran to France. So we are talking now, they say Peter Obi, what he said, this, what he said, that. Please, by May, this government will spend 2 years. They are still telling us we should give him time. And all the policies are towards suffering the masses. There is no tomato. Vegetable oil is expensive. Fuel is expensive. You cannot pay for house rent. The garden is expensive. There is no light. The presidential yacht, always traveling abroad. What has Peter Obi said now? The roads are bad. That they should, instead of people to tell us of patriotism, they should ask our leaders and I'm talking of both federal, state, and local, whether they are patriotic. Why will you tell somebody who is suffering that he should be patriotic? I don't understand. And so some of these people who are talking, if you see them face to face, they will tell you things are not easy. But when they come on radio, they will come and they will be painting it as if does it look like somebody who is suffering? But he's always talking on radio. How many of us can go to Japan? See, Sage, what is worrying us is tribalism.
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
Thank you very much.
It's quite unfortunate.
Thank you very much for your submission. We appreciate you. Let me read messages as well. We have Eugene Chibuike Oxlade who says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Listen, we have to be very careful in this country by not supporting what is not right because of one interest that we may have or not. As for me, Peter Obi has not set up to what President Tinubu, Fashola, Fayemi, etc. said towards the Goodluck Jonathan administration. Fᴏᴜᴜ should tread with caution because there's nothing Obi said that we haven't said here on the radio. Let's not set bad precedents because what goes around comes around. Let's read another message here. Good morning, Sage. My name is Noah from Igondo. Mr. Fᴏᴜᴜ's defense is watery. What does he mean by Peter Obi crossing the line and managing what he gets? I know the same Fᴏᴜᴜ would deny his celebrated rantings if the table turned tomorrow in favor of Peter Obi. Politics does not mean hostilities and untidy impunity. There should be decency by the privileged individuals who see themselves in the corridors of power. APC as a party should retract Fᴏᴜᴜ's unfortunate threats to Peter Obi immediately. All right, thank you very much, Noah. We have another one. Obi's press conference. They will tag the person and obedient. I guess they must be tagging Mr. Fuad and obedient because of his own opinion as well. Sage, I am an obedient because I operate with an open mind. I just listened to Fᴏᴜᴜ's soundbite for the first time on your station, and I think that part where he said Peter Obi should accept whatever comes to him does not really suggest a threat to his life. It may just mean that he should be accepting whatever backlash he's getting. Sage, the 2 days off work I approved for Sandra is over. How come she's not back? You can proceed with yours when she's back. I've approved the 1 week off for you two with a carton of 3-in-1 coffee. James Ogbona from Oshodi. Anyways, thank you very much. Good morning, Sage Babalola and Fuad. APC was so troubled because of constructive criticism from Obi. What about APC whose criticism was also destructive when they were in opposition? Imagine them denying Peter Obi and threatening him when Moka said Obi has crossed the line and whatever he sees he should take. Please, what exactly are they talking to us or taking us for? Those who don't know Peter Obi and the way he governed Anambra should do their research for better education. James from Agbado Junction. Another one here says Fᴏᴜᴜ should tell the president should rule Nigeria better and stop complaining. Obi is not their problem. Isioma from Abuli Egwade with a message. Another one here reads, good morning, Mainland FM crew. I want to appreciate Mr. Fuad especially for his wonderful analysis this morning. He continues to government has not hidden its lack of tolerance for any form of opposition or dissenting views after using lies to pull down the government of Goodluck Jonathan and also the PDP. A threat on Peter Obi will not deter us from speaking out about their obnoxious and anti-people policy. Victor Aloy Igboke from Ikeja sent that message via WhatsApp. Good morning, Mainland FM. My name is Tony Inisolo. Most of us have remained in our Adamic nature in our views today, and that is not the way forward. Budget is a national issue which will be viewed and considered and approved by the House of Assembly and Senate, which is made up of candidates across all parties and our tribes, which by extension are approval. Go and blame your representatives. Tony from Isolo sent that particular one. I'm about to move now to Facebook. I have here Sean Johnson who says Peter Obi's statement only goes to show how relevant he is in the political space. So he should be happy, as this shows that the party sees him as a threat and that it's possible that he can win 2027 if he runs. If not, they will not be paying attention to him. The budget presented shows the rich will get richer and the poor poorer, and the middle class will join the poor if care is not taken. Sean Johnson on Facebook sent that one. It as a traditional budget, and it's a budget of hope for the politicians. Don't you see how the budget was quick to go through the reading and it was passed? If it were to be for citizens, they would have keep committing to check it and allocating money for themselves. There's God. For the mockery of Peter Obi, APC should accept criticism because that is what brought them to power. Did Peter Obi say anything that is different from what Nigerians are crying about? That man should be careful with his thoughts. What is the difference between APC government and that of the PDP? We want a better Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Amen. Thank you very much. We have Francis Ekpeyong who says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Mkształcić is talking because he's in the camp of the ruling party and he uses threats to silence opposition voices. In Sena Klein, Mkształcić should be cooling off somewhere with a security agency. For the 2025 budget, the more you look, the less you see. What has happened to the 2024 budget? APC accused PDP of selling the power sector to PDP cronies, and ever since APC came into power, they have been pumping taxpayers' funds to the same sector because the buyers have jumped ship to the APC. Blessed are those who do not expect anything good from the APC government like me, for they shall never be disappointed. Francis from Command Road, Iwaja, Lagos. Thank you very much. We have another message here. Maggie Edo, who says, Moka is... All right, thank you very much. Like I always say, speak to issues and not personalities, but thank you. Businesses, I hope our vote would eventually count in 2027. Sunday from Aboru. Ralphie rather, HGK says, talking of threats, as a caller that said obedience were threatening people online, is it the online threats that is worse than what Mgsmåɪᴜᴜ and Asari Dokubo did, and yet nobody now? What is the difference between you and Obi? We need between the president and Obi. Also ask them, what did Tinubu do when he was governor of Lagos? That was the same way you pushed Buhari till he finished 8 years. Continue supporting this with your emotions as well. From Alagbadu, thank you very much. Vico says, Mainland FM, in a functional democracy, the following must exist: number 1, parliament; number 2, opposition; number 3, pressure groups; and 4, civil society. These groups hold the party in power accountable, construct Nigeria to a one-party system as they have done in other parts of the country. Thank you very much. That's all the messages that I can take. That's all the contributions I can take for this morning. I'm really sorry, but then every time we turn on the microphone, you know we're racing against the clock, and I do my best. But the conversation doesn't end here. That's another interesting part. I can assure you that any conversation we have in the morning, across the different shows that you have coming your way, it will be raised and we will made a subject matter. There's political roundtable by 1 p.m. There's also the situation room by 4 p.m. So do well to join those programs. Midweek politics. I'm so sorry. Midweek politics is today. Political roundtable is on Sunday by 6 p.m. But midweek politics by 1 today, 1 to 3 p.m. That's about 2 hours of conversations. You can listen to that if you're interested in conversations around nation building. And do well to join the situation room as well. By 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. we'll be having conversations about regional unity. We'll be talking about maintaining and sustaining regional unity in Nigeria. That's the topic for 4 p.m. So do well to join that conversation as well. I'm Sage Babalola. The Morning Express continues. Coming up next is the recap with Cordelia Okwe. Stick around. Enjoy the program.